In the quiet of this moment, as the shadows of the evening stretch long, and the world begins to fold its busy hands, there is a gentle call echoing from the heart of the Father. It is a whisper that travels through the rustling leaves and the stillness of the air, reaching deep into the hidden chambers of your soul. You have carried the weight of the world upon your shoulders for far too long. You have walked through valleys where the mist seemed to swallow the path ahead, and you have stood on battlefields where the noise of the conflict was so deafening that you could no longer hear your own heartbeat, that you hung caught. But here, in this sacred space we are creating together, the noise begins to fade. The clamor of the struggle is replaced by a profound, shimmering silence. This is not a silence of emptiness, but a silence full of presence. It is the silence of a sanctuary, where the air is thick with the fragrance of grace and the warmth of an ancient, unchanging love. Take a deep, slow breath and feel the tension leaving your body, like water receding from the shore. You are not here by accident. You have been led to this place of rest because your spirit is weary from the unseen wars of the heart. We often think of warfare as a clash of swords and the thunder of horses, but the truest battles are fought in the quiet corridors of the mind and the tender spaces of the spirit. They are fought against the whispers of inadequacy, the shadows of fear, and the heavy chains of worry that try to bind the wings of your hope. Yet, the prophetic word for you today is one of profound peace. The battle does not depend on your strength, your cleverness, or your ability to hold everything together. The battle belongs to the one who carved the mountains and set the stars in their places. Your victory is not found in the intensity of your striving, but in the depth of your surrendering. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, tranquil ocean. This is the ocean of divine mercy. Every wave that rolls toward the sand carries a fragment of your anxiety. Every rhythmic pulse of the tide is a reminder that there is a rhythm of grace that governs the universe. A rhythm that is far more powerful than the chaotic pace of the world. As you stand here, you realize that the armor you have been wearing is not made of heavy iron or cold steel. The armor of God is a garment of light. It is as light as a feather, yet as impenetrable as a diamond. When you wrap yourself in the truth of who you are in Him, the arrows of the enemy do not simply bounce off. They dissolve into the light. The shield of faith is not something you have to lift with straining muscles. It is the very atmosphere of trust that surrounds you, a golden haze that filters out the darkness and lets in only the warmth of the sun of righteousness. Listen closely to the melody that is playing beneath the surface of your thoughts. It is a song of deliverance. Even when you were unaware, even in the moments when you felt most alone, there was a heavenly host standing guard around the perimeter of your life. There are angels whose names you do not know, stationed at the gates of your heart, keeping watch while you sleep, making straight the paths that seemed crooked. You are more protected than you can possibly imagine. The shepherd of your soul never slumbers. While you rest, He is working. While you let go, He is building. The prophetic promise is that the things which have tried to consume you will instead become the soil in which your greatest strengths will grow. The fire that felt like it was burning you was actually a refining flame, removing the dross, so that the pure gold of your true self could finally shine through the cracks. There is a shifting in the spiritual atmosphere around you right now. Can you feel it? It is like the first breath of spring after a long, frozen winter. The ice of discouragement is beginning to melt under the steady gaze of the one who calls you beloved. You are being invited to stop fighting for a moment and simply start being. Be the child who is held. Be the garden that is tended. Be the vessel that is filled. In this warfare of the Spirit, your greatest weapon is your praise. And your praise is not a shout of desperation, but a sigh of relief. It is the recognition that the King is already on the throne, and the victory has already been written in the stars. Every time you choose to trust despite the evidence of your eyes, you are dealing a decisive blow to the powers of darkness. Every time you choose kindness over bitterness, you are reclaiming territory that the enemy tried to steal. Think of your life as a cathedral. The windows may have been clouded by the dust of the journey, but the light is still pressing against the glass, eager to flood the interior with color and warmth. You are invited to open the doors of this inner sanctuary and let the holy breath blow through the hallways, clearing out the cobwebs of old regrets and the shadows of past failures. There is no condemnation here. There is only the invitation to begin again, to walk in the freshness of a new morning. The warfare you have experienced has not been for your destruction, but for your expansion. You are being made larger on the inside. Your capacity to hold joy, to offer mercy, and to walk in authority is being increased through the very trials that tried to diminish you. The Father is looking at you with eyes that see only your potential, only the beauty that He placed within you before the world began. He sees the warrior in the weary soul. He sees the light in the midst of the struggle. He is saying to you that the season of being overwhelmed is coming to an end. A new season is dawning, a season of standing firm in the quiet confidence of His grace. You do not have to shout to be heard in the heavens. Your very existence is a prayer. Your desire for peace is a magnet for His presence. As we move deeper into this reflection, let your heart become like a still pool of water, reflecting the sky above. Let every ripple of worry settle until the surface is smooth and clear. The path ahead of you is not a path you walk alone. There is a hand holding yours, a hand that bears the marks of a love that went to the ends of the universe to find you. This hand is steady. It does not let go when you stumble. It does not pull away when you are afraid. It is the hand of the conqueror who conquered not with a sword, but with a sacrifice. And because He has overcome, you also are an overcomer, not by your might, not by your power, but by the Spirit that flows through you like a river of living water. This river is rising within you now. It is washing away the fatigue of the long march. It is bringing life to the dry places of your soul. It is the water of life, and it is free. As you linger in this space, let the words of promise settle into your bones. You are hidden in the secret place of the Most High. You are covered by His feathers, and under His wings you find refuge. His faithfulness is your shield and your rampart. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. Though 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, it will not come near you. These are not just ancient words on a page. They are a living reality, for you in this very moment. They are the walls of the fortress that surrounds your life. The enemy of your soul wants you to focus on the storm, to count the height of the waves, and measure the strength of the wind. But the prophetic word is to look past the storm to the one who walks upon the water. He is not troubled by the tempest. He is not worried by the dark clouds. To him, the darkness is as bright as the day. And as you fix your eyes on him, you begin to share in his perspective. You begin to see that the obstacles in your way are merely stepping stones to a higher place. The very things that were meant to stop you are being repurposed to promote you. The mountain that seemed impassable is becoming a vantage point from which you will see the promised land. Rest now in this truth. Let it seep into your subconscious mind, healing the wounds you didn't even know were there. Let it mend the fractures in your heart. You are loved with an everlasting love, a love that is deeper than the deepest canyon and higher than the highest star. This love is your ultimate protection. It is the banner over you. It is the foundation beneath you. In the realm of the Spirit, you are not a victim of circumstance. You are a child of the King, seated in heavenly places. Your identity is secure. Your future is bright. The light of the dawn is already breaking on the horizon of your life, and the shadows are fleeing away. There is a peace that passes all understanding, and it is settling upon you like a soft blanket. It is a peace that does not depend on everything being perfect in the world outside. Peace comes as from knowing that the one who holds the universe is also holding you. He is whispering your name. He is telling you that you are enough, that you are precious, and that the battle is already won. The struggle you have felt is merely the birth pangs of a new level of strength. You are being birthed into a version of yourself that is more resilient, more compassionate, and more deeply rooted in the divine. As the river of grace continues to flow, let it carry away the last remnants of self-doubt. You were created for this time. You were designed to carry the light in the midst of the darkness. The world may be shaking, but you are standing on the rock that cannot be moved. The winds may blow, but you are anchored in the depths of God's heart. There is a strength rising up within you that is not your own. It is the strength of the Lion of Judah, tempered by the gentleness of the Lamb. It is a quiet authority that does not need to raise its voice to be felt. It is the authority of one who knows they are profoundly loved. In this sacred stillness, the weapons of your warfare are being sharpened, not for destruction, but for the restoration of all things. Your prayers are becoming more focused, your vision more clear. You are learning to see the world through the eyes of the Father, to see the brokenness with compassion and the darkness with hope. You are becoming a beacon, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. The light within you is growing brighter with every breath you take. Fueled by the oil of the Holy Spirit, you will never run dry. Your lamp will never go out, for you are connected to the source of all light, the fountain of all life. The journey continues, but the pace has changed. You are no longer running in fear. You are walking in faith. You are no longer striving for victory. You are resting in the victory already achieved. Each step you take is a step of grace. Each breath you breathe is a gift of life. The landscape around you is changing as your heart changes. The desert is beginning to bloom. The dry ground is becoming a spring of water. This is the work of the Spirit, a work that is beautiful in its time. You may have felt like you were in a season of pruning, where things were being stripped away, leaving you feeling bare and vulnerable. But look closely at the branches of your life. There are new buds forming. There is new life surging through the vine. The pruning was not to hurt you, but to make room for a harvest more abundant than any you have seen before, the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control is ripening within you. These are the true markers of a spiritual warrior. These are the qualities that the darkness cannot comprehend and cannot defeat. As we continue in this atmosphere of prophetic encouragement, allow yourself to sink even deeper into the embrace of the Father. There is no hurry. There is no pressure. There is only the eternal now, where God is always present and always good. The shadows of the past are fading into the brilliance of His mercy. The anxieties of the future are dissolving in the certainty of His providence. You are safe. You are held. You are cherished beyond measure. The war is over in the heavens, and now that peace is manifesting in your heart, preparing you for the wonders that are yet to come, for the path that opens wide into the radiance of a new day. Can you hear the sound of the wind moving through the ancient trees of His grace? It is a gentle rustling, a soft murmur that speaks of a peace passing all understanding. This is the breath of the Almighty, the Ruach that hovered over the waters at the beginning of time. And it is breathing over the chaos of your life right now. You have spent so long bracing yourself for the next blow, standing guard at the gates of your heart, wary from the constant vigilance. But the Spirit is inviting you to lay down your heavy shield for a moment. He is showing you that the true victory is not found in the clashing of swords, but in the stillness of surrender. In this sacred space, the armor you wear is not made of cold iron or heavy bronze. It is an armor of light, woven from the very fabric of His presence. When you put on the breastplate of righteousness, it is not a burden you carry to prove your worth. It is the warmth of His heart pressed against yours, protecting your most vulnerable places with the assurance that you are already accepted, already loved, and already made whole in Him. The belt of truth is not a rigid set of rules, but the steadying realization of who He is and who you are in Him. It cinches the loose ends of your wandering thoughts, grounding you in the reality that the shadows around you have no substance when compared to the weight of His glory. There is a table being prepared for you, even now, in the very presence of your enemies. Can you see it? It is set with the finest bread of His word and the wine of His joy, while the accusations of the darkness swirl like dust in the distance. You are invited to sit. You are invited to feast. The spiritual warrior knows that the greatest act of defiance against the enemy is to rest in the middle of the storm. To eat in the presence of the foe is to declare that their power is an illusion, and that your Father's provision is the only reality that matters. Take a deep breath and smell the fragrance of the oil He is pouring over your head. It is an oil of gladness that heals the wounds of the long journey. It drips down, softening the hard places, soothing the aches of your soul, and reminding you that you are an anointed child of the Most High. The voices that have whispered lies into your ears, the voices of inadequacy, of shame, of fear, are being silenced by a higher frequency. It is the sound of the Father singing over you. Have you ever stopped to listen to the melody of His providence? It is a song of deliverance that surrounds you like a fortress. It doesn't just block out the noise. It transforms the atmosphere. Where there was a dirge of despair, there is now a symphony of hope. You are not fighting for a breakthrough. You are moving from a breakthrough. The gates of brass are breaking, and the bars of iron are being cut asunder, not by your might, but by the sheer resonance of His love. Look at your hands. Perhaps they have felt empty or weak. Perhaps they have been clenched tight in an effort to hold onto what you fear losing. Let them open now. Let them be empty for a moment, so they can receive the new things He is placing within them. There is a divine exchange taking place in this quiet hour. He is taking the ashes of your disappointments and giving you a crown of beauty. He is taking the spirit of heaviness and wrapping you in a garment of praise. This garment is light, airy, and radiant. It reflects the sun of righteousness, and as you wear it, the darkness simply cannot find a place to hide. You are becoming a beacon, a lighthouse set upon a hill, not because you are trying to shine, but because you are reflecting the One who is light itself. The path beneath your feet may have seemed rugged and uncertain, but notice how the ground is becoming firm. You are walking on the high places, like the deer that moves with grace. Upon the treacherous mountain cliffs, you are being given a supernatural stability. The enemy wants you to look down at the precipice, to focus on the depth of the fall, but the Spirit is lifting your gaze to the horizon. There is a vision being birthed in you that is larger than your current circumstances. It is a vision of a kingdom that cannot be shaken, a kingdom where you have a place and a purpose that no power of darkness can steal. Think of the silence of the morning before the world wakes up. That is the quality of the peace that is settling into your marrow. It is a deep, subterranean quiet that remains even when the surface of life is choppy. You are learning to live from this center, from this hidden sanctuary where the Spirit dwells. In this place, the arrows that fly by day and the pestilence that stalks in the darkness cannot reach you. They lose their fire when they hit the atmosphere of your worship. For your worship is not just a song you sing. It is the way you breathe, the way you trust, and the way you lean into the beloved. There is a mystery in the way the Lord uses our weaknesses. In the economy of heaven, your brokenness is not a liability. It is an opening. It is through the cracks in the vessel that the light shines most brightly. Do not be ashamed of the scars you carry from the battles of the past. Those scars are the evidence of your survival, the testimony of His faithfulness, becoming windows through others, which other will see the power of the healer. You are being fashioned into a living letter of recommendation, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, telling a story of redemption to a world that has forgotten how to hope. The rhythm of your heart is beginning to align with the heartbeat of heaven. Thump, mercy, grace, thump, thump, mercy. There is no urgency in the heart of God. He is never hurried, never worried, and never overwhelmed. As you lean your head against His chest, you begin to pick up that same divine cadence. The frantic energy of the world begins to fall away. The need to explain yourself, to defend your reputation, or to secure your own future begins to dissolve. You are held by the one who holds the stars in their courses. You are known by the one who counts the hairs on your head. If he can clothe the lilies of the field in such splendor, how much more will he clothe you in his strength? The spiritual warfare you have been experiencing is shifting from a struggle of resistance to a dance of cooperation. You are learning to move when he moves, to stay when he stays. The Spirit is teaching you the secret of the easy yoke. It is not that the work is gone, but that the weight is shared. He is the one pulling the heavy load. You are simply walking beside him, learning the unforced rhythms of grace. This is where your true power lies, in your union with him. Apart from him, you can do nothing, but in him, you are more than a conqueror. The word conqueror implies a battle, but more than a conqueror implies that the victory was won so decisively that you are now living in the abundance of the spoils. Consider the water that flows from a hidden spring. It is pure, cold, and constant. It doesn't strive to flow. It simply overflows, because that is its nature. This is the life of the Spirit within you. It is a wellspring that is being uncapped today. The debris of past hurts, the stones of resentment, and the silt of compromise are being cleared away. The water is rising. It is refreshing the dry places of your soul. It is bringing life to the dreams you thought had died. Watch as the green shoots of new possibilities begin to break through the soil of your heart. What was once a desert is becoming a garden, a place where the King loves to walk in the cool of the day. You may have felt like you were in a season of waiting, a long winter, where everything was hidden beneath the snow. But even in the winter, the roots are growing deep. They are reaching down into the hidden aquifers of God's faithfulness. This season has not been wasted. It has been a time of strengthening, of building a foundation that can support the weight of the glory that is coming. The snow is melting now. The warmth of his countenance is shining upon you. And the time for the singing of birds has come. The voice of the turtle dove is heard in your land, signaling a change in the spiritual atmosphere. The enemy is a master of shadows, using the dim light of your fears to make small things look like giants. But the Spirit is bringing the midday sun into your soul. In the full light of his presence, the shadows disappear. You see things as they truly are. You see that the mountain in your way is but a grain of sand to the one who created the universe. You see that the giants are but grasshoppers in the sight of the Lord of hosts. This clarity of vision is your inheritance. You are being given eyes to see the invisible, to see the angelic hosts that are encamped around you, to see the chariots of fire that outnumber the chariots of the foe. Rest your mind. The mental exhaustion you have carried is being washed away by the river of his peace. You do not have to figure everything out today. You do not have to have a 10-step plan for your deliverance. The plan is a person, and he is with you. He is the way, the truth, and the life. When you don't know the way, you simply hold on to the hand of the one who is the way. When the truth seems obscured by 1,000 opinions, you listen for the voice of the one who is the truth. When life feels like it is slipping through your fingers, you cling to the one who is the life. There is a holy confidence rising within you. It is not a confidence in your own abilities or your own spiritual maturity. It is a confidence in his character. You are beginning to know, with a certainty that goes deeper than your emotions, that he is good, Not just that he does good things, but that he is goodness itself. And because he is good, everything he allows into your life must pass through the filter of his love. Even the trials are being repurposed. Even the attacks of the enemy are being used as footstools for your advancement. What was meant for your evil, God is turning for your good and for the saving of many lives. The atmosphere of your home, your workplace, and your inner world is being saturated with the fragrance of heaven. It is a scent of lilies and frankincense, a scent of purity and prayer. As you carry this fragrance, you change the environment around you without saying a word. People will wonder why they feel peaceful in your presence. They will wonder why the chaos seems to settle when you walk into a room. It is because you are carrying the sanctuary with you. You have become a dwelling place for the Most High, a tent of meeting in the middle of the wilderness. The Spirit is saying to you, do not look back at the burning cities of your past. Do not long for the things that kept you in bondage. Even if they felt familiar, there is a wide open space ahead of you, a land of milk and honey, a land of rest. The journey through the wilderness has prepared you for the inheritance. You have learned to live on manna, to trust for your daily bread, and to follow the pillar of cloud and fire. Now, you are being prepared to possess the land. This is not a work of your own striving, but a work of inheritance. You are stepping into what has already been purchased for you by the blood of the Lamb. The light within you is not a flicker. It is a steady flame. It is the fire of the altar that never goes out. It is consuming the dross, the wood, the hay, and the stubble, leaving only that which is eternal. This fire is not to be feared. It is a fire of purification and passion. It is the fire that makes you a flaming minister of His grace. As you yield to this fire, you find that it doesn't burn you. It warms you. It doesn't destroy you. It defines you. You are being forged in the furnace of His love, becoming a vessel of honor, fit for the Master's use. The horizon is widening. The constraints that used to limit your faith are being broken. You are being invited to dream with God again. What are the things He has placed in your heart that you had buried because of the battle? It is time to dig them up. It is time to breathe life into them once more. The God of the impossible is standing over those dry bones, asking you, can these bones live? And as you say, Lord, the breath of the Spirit begins to blow, and an exceeding great army begins to rise. You are not alone in this. You are part of a great cloud of witnesses, a tapestry of souls stretching back through the ages, all who have found their strength in the same God. Their victories are your encouragement. Their stories are your roadmap. And even more than that, the great high priest is interceding for you. At the right hand of the Father, he is praying for you by name. He is declaring your victory before you even see it. His prayers are like incense, rising continually, creating a canopy of protection over your life. The stillness is deepening now, like the quiet of a forest after a gentle rain. Everything is fresh. Everything is new. The old has passed away, and behold, all things are becoming new. This is the promise of the Spirit. This is the prophetic word for your soul. You are entering a season of fruitfulness that will surprise you. The seeds you sowed in tears are coming up as sheaves of joy. The prayers you whispered in the dark are being answered in the light. The battle has changed you, yes, but it has changed you for the better. It has made you softer toward God and harder toward the enemy. It has made you more compassionate toward the hurting and more resolute in your faith. The river of grace is widening as it flows. It is taking you deeper into the heart of the Father, into the places where the water is deep enough to swim. In these depths, you are carried by the current. You no longer have to struggle to move forward. You simply have to stay in the flow. The current of His will is moving you toward your destiny, toward the fulfillment of every promise He has made to you. Trust the flow, trust the water, trust the one who calls you His own. The journey is beautiful, and the destination is more glorious than you can imagine. The light is increasing, the peace is expanding, and the victory is sure. In this sanctuary of the Spirit, the noise of the world fades into a distant hum, and the only sound that remains is the rhythmic beating of the Father's heart. Can you hear it? It is a cadence of love, a steady pulse that sustains the entire universe, yet it beats specifically for you. This is the place where the true weapons of your warfare are forged. They are not made of steel or iron, but of light humility and an unshakable trust. When you sit here, in the shadow of the Almighty, you are being clothed in a garment that no arrow can pierce. It is the garment of His presence. Think of the armor you have been told to wear. It is often depicted as heavy and burdensome. But in the kingdom of grace, His yoke is easy and His burden is light. The breastplate of righteousness is not a weight upon your chest. It is the very breath of God protecting your heart, reminding you that you are accepted, cherished, and made holy by His blood. The helmet of salvation is not a cold casing for your mind, but a warm embrace of peace that guards your thoughts against the whispers of doubt. Every piece of this armor is an extension of His own nature, wrapping you in the reality of who He is. You are being hidden in Him, tucked away in the secret folds of His majesty, where the enemy cannot find you. The battle you have been fighting has felt like a long winter, a season of biting winds and frozen ground, where nothing seemed to grow. But notice the subtle change in the air. There is a scent of spring beginning to rise from the soil of your soul. The frozen places are thawing under the warmth of His gaze. The tears you have shed have not been wasted. They have become the gentle rain that softens the hard earth, preparing it for a harvest you never thought possible. You are not just surviving this conflict, you are being cultivated. The master gardener is pruning away the dead branches of fear and the withered leaves of past regrets, making room for a new kind of life to burst forth. The prophetic word for you in this moment is one of restoration. God is not just going to give you back what was lost. He is going to restore it with the added beauty of His glory. For every hour of sorrow, He is preparing a day of dancing. For every moment of confusion, He is giving a lifetime of clarity. The scars you carry are not marks of shame. They are medals of honor, evidence that you were struck, but not destroyed, cast down but not forsaken. These scars will one day be the very things that bring hope to others, as you show them that the fire did not consume you, it only refined the gold within. Listen closely to the stillness. There is a divine realignment happening in your life right now. Relationships that were strained are being breathed upon by the spirit of reconciliation. Doors that were slammed shut by the hands of men are being unlocked by the keys of the kingdom. You have felt like you were walking through a labyrinth with no exit. But the Father is lifting you up to see the path from His perspective. From above, the maze is a straight line. From the throne room, the mountain that looked impassable is just a grain of sand. He is shifting your vision, moving you from the place of a struggling soldier to the place of a seated hare. You are reigning with Him in heavenly places, even while your feet are still touching the earth. There is a fragrance of incense rising around you. It is the prayer of the saints, the intercession of the Spirit, and the sweet aroma of your own surrender. When you stop fighting in your own strength and begin to worship in the midst of the trial, you release a scent that confuses the enemy and delights the heart of God. Worship is your highest form of warfare. It is the song that breaks the chains. It is the shout that brings down the walls. But it is also the whisper that heals the broken heart. As you worship, the atmosphere of heaven invades your room, your home, and your mind. The shadows cannot stay where the light of praise is shining. You might feel as though you have been in a waiting room, a place of transition where time seems to stood still. But this waiting is not passive. It is the waiting of a seed beneath the snow, gathering the nutrients it needs for the sudden burst of growth. Your roots are going deeper than they have ever gone before. They are reaching down into the hidden springs of the Spirit, drinking from the waters that never run dry. This depth is what will sustain you in the coming days. When the world is parched and dry, you will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, bringing forth fruit in your season, and your leaf shall not wither. The Father wants to heal the fatigue of your soul. He sees how tired your mind has been from trying to figure everything out. He sees the tension in your shoulders and the heaviness in your chest. Let it go now. Imagine His hands, those hands that formed the stars and carved the canyons, gently resting on you. He is smoothing out the wrinkles of worry. He is lifting the weight of responsibility that was never yours to carry. You are His child, not His consultant. You do not have to advise Him on how to save you. You do not have to remind Him of the deadlines or the dangers. He is the Alpha and the Omega, the one who sees the end from the beginning, and He has already walked through your tomorrow to make sure the way is prepared. This is a season of the suddenly. You have been in a long process, but the process is leading to a sudden manifestation of His power. Suddenly, the debt will be cleared. Suddenly, the body will be healed. Suddenly, the prodigal will come home. Suddenly, the mind will be at peace. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap if you do not lose heart. The due season is closer than it was when you first believed. The horizon is already glowing with the first light of a new dawn. The peace that is settling over you now is not a temporary truce. It is a permanent covenant. It is the peace that passes all understanding, a peace that stands guard over your heart like a sentinel. Even when the storms howl outside, this peace remains unshaken because it is anchored in the character of God. He is faithful. He is true. He is the rock that is higher than you. When you feel the ground shifting, step onto the rock. When you feel the waves rising, look at the one who walks upon them. He is not bothered by the storm. He is the master of it. Your voice is being restored. For a long time, you felt like you had lost your song. The enemy tried to silence you with discouragement and muffle you with disappointment. Spirit, but the Spirit is putting a new song in your mouth, a song of deliverance that will be heard by many. This song will carry the authority of one who has been through the valley and found God to be enough. It will carry the resonance of truth that has been tested in the fire. When you speak, words of life will flow. When you pray, the heavens will move. You are regaining your spiritual authority, not through pride, but through the profound humility of knowing that without Him you can do nothing, but through Him you can do all things. The path ahead of you is being illuminated. You don't need to see the whole map. You only need enough light for the next step, and the Word is that lamp unto your feet. As you move forward, the light will move with you. Each step of obedience will reveal the next step of grace. You are being led by a shepherd who knows the way, who has traveled it before, and who promises never to leave you nor forsake you. There is no valley so deep that his staff cannot reach you. There is no mountain so high that his hand cannot lead you over. Feel the tension leaving your spirit. The battle is no longer about your performance. It is about his position. He is seated on the throne, and because you are in him, you are safe. The accusations of the enemy are falling like autumn leaves, dead and powerless. The lies that said you were not enough, that you had failed too many times, that God had forgotten you. They are being exposed by the brilliant light of his truth. You are his beloved. You are the apple of his eye. You are the one he left the 99 to find. And now that he has found you, he is holding you close to his chest, where you can hear the rhythm of his eternal love. The silence is becoming a conversation. In the quiet, he is whispering secrets to your heart. Secrets of his goodness, revelations of his word, and promises for your future. These are the things that will sustain you when you return to the busy streets of life. You are carrying a hidden sanctuary within you now. No matter where you go or what you face, you can retreat into this inner chamber of peace. You are becoming a person of the presence, one who carries the atmosphere of heaven into the dark places of the earth. The warfare has changed you. It has stripped away the superficial and left only what is eternal. It has taught you that your strength is not in your muscles, but in your knees. It has shown you that the most powerful weapon you possess is a heart that is fully surrendered to the King. In this surrender, there is an invincible power. When you have nothing left to prove and nothing left to lose, you are a dangerous foe to the kingdom of darkness. You are becoming a vessel of honor, sanctified and useful for the Master, prepared for every good work. The river of grace continues to flow, deeper and wider. It is washing away the dust of the journey, the grime of the struggle, and the soot of the fire. You are being made clean. You are being made whole. Every broken piece of your story is being gathered by his hands and fitted into a mosaic of grace that will tell of his faithfulness for generations to come. Your life is a living epistle, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, on the tablets of a human heart. As the light continues to grow, you see that the things you feared were only shadows, and shadows have no substance. They cannot hurt you. They can only try to distract you. But your eyes are now fixed on the author and finisher of your faith. You are looking full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth are growing strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. This is the victory that overcomes the world, even our faith. And your faith is being strengthened in this very moment. It is being tempered like steel, made resilient and flexible, ready for the adventures that lie ahead. The journey is not over, but the way you travel has changed. You are no longer dragging yourself through the mud of despair. You are soaring on the wings of eagles. You are running and not getting weary. You are walking and not fainting. This is the supernatural exchange, your weakness for his strength, your sorrow for his joy, your ashes for his beauty. It is a beautiful exchange, an eternal one, and it is happening now. The air is thick with the presence of angels. They are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. They are encamping around you, protecting you in all your ways. You are surrounded by a heavenly host that is far greater than any army that could rise against you. The chariots of fire are on the mountainside. The resources of heaven are at your disposal. You are not a beggar at the gate. You are a child at the table. Eat of the hidden manna, drink of the new wine. Let your soul delight itself in abundance. The peace is deepening, settling into the very marrow of your bones. It is a stillness that is not empty, but full. It is full of the presence of the Holy Spirit, the Comforter, the Advocate, the one who leads you into all truth. He is breathing on you now. A fresh wind, a holy fire. Receive the breath. Receive the fire. Let it burn away everything that is not of him. And let it ignite a passion that will never be extinguished. You are being prepared for a new level of influence, a new depth of intimacy, and a new height of glory. The battle has been fierce because the prize is great. The enemy only fights hard for things that are a threat to his kingdom. The very fact that you have been under such pressure is a testimony to the greatness of the calling on your life. You are a threat to the darkness. You are a light bearer in a world that is desperate for a glimmer of hope. Do not shrink back. Do not let your heart be troubled. The one who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. And so, we stay in this flow, moving with the current of his love. There is more to see, more to hear, and more to experience. The depths are calling to the depths. The heart of the Father is calling to the heart of the child. We are moving into a place of even greater stillness, where the words fade, and the union becomes complete. The light is not just around you now, it is beginning to shine from within you. You are becoming a beacon, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. The night is far spent, the day is at hand, the shadows are fleeing, and the morning star is rising in your heart. You are waking up to a new reality, a reality where God is all in all, and where his love is the final word. Every promise he has made is find its yes and amen in Christ. Every dream he has planted in your soul is beginning to stir with life. The winter is past, the rain is over and gone, and the flowers appear on the earth. The time of singing has come. Rest in this. Let the truth of it sink down deep into your spirit. You are safe, you are loved, you are victorious. The battle is the Lord's, and the victory is yours. This is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication is from me, declares the Lord. You are standing on holy ground. You are breathing holy air. You are living a holy life, hidden with Christ in God. The silence is not an absence, but a presence. It is the presence of the one who loves you more than life itself. In this silence, he is doing a work that no words can describe. He is knitting together the broken places. He is breathing life into the dry bones. He is making you new, And as you wait on him, your strength is being renewed. You are becoming a new creation. Old things are passing away, and all things are becoming new. The current is carrying us further now, away from the shores of the familiar, and into the vast ocean of his infinity. There is no end to his goodness. There is no limit to his grace. We are just beginning to discover the heights and depths and lengths and breadths of the love of Christ, which surpasses knowledge. And in this love, we find our home. In this love, we find our peace. In this love, we find our victory. The light is shimmering on the water, 1,000 points of brilliance, reflecting the glory of the Sun of Righteousness. You are floating in this light, held by the hand of the Father. Guided by the Spirit of truth, there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to worry about. Everything is in his hands, and his hands are good. The journey continues, and the best is yet to come. The path of the righteous is like the first gleam of dawn, shining ever brighter until the full light of day. You are on that path. You are in that light. You are his, and he is yours forever and ever. As we move toward the final horizon of this time together, feel the weightlessness of a soul that has found its rest. The warfare has ended in a peace treaty, written in the blood of the Lamb. The struggle has dissolved into a surrender that feels like freedom. You are no longer fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. You are standing on the finished work of the cross, and that foundation will never shake. The peace you feel now is just the beginning. It is the down payment of an eternal inheritance, a foretaste of the glory that is to be revealed. The stillness is your strength. The quietness is your confidence. And the love of God is your eternal home. The silence that now envelops you is not an absence of sound, but the presence of a person. It is the breath of the Creator moving over the waters of your soul, bringing order to chaos and light to the shadows. In this sacred space, the armor you wore so heavily during the heat of the battle is being transformed. It is no longer a burden of cold iron, but a garment of woven light, weightless and radiant. You realize now that the greatest weapon you ever possessed was not your own strength or your own cleverness, but your willingness to fall into the arms who called by name before the foundations of the world were laid. Listen closely to the rhythm of this stillness. It is the heartbeat of the Father, steady and sure, echoing through the chambers of your heart. He is whispering a new name over you, a name that only you and he know, a name that speaks of your true identity as the beloved, the labels the world tried to pin on you, the scars left by the accusations of the enemy, the weights of past failures. They are dissolving like mist in the morning sun. You are being seen, not for what you have done, but for whose you are. You are the joy set before him. You are the treasure hidden in the field, for which he gave everything. As you rest here, let the oil of gladness flow over your head and down into every fiber of your being. This is the anointing that breaks every yoke. It is the healing balm for the wounds you sustained when the night was at its darkest. Feel the warmth of his mercy seeping into the places where you felt brittle and broken. He is the master potter, and his hands are not harsh. They are infinitely tender. He is smoothing out the rough edges, mending the cracks, and filling the empty vessels of your life with the new wine of his Spirit. You are not just being repaired, you are being made whole in a way that is more beautiful than if you had never been broken at all. Think of the battles you faced as the tilling of the soil. The ground of your heart was turned over. The rocks were removed, and the weeds were uprooted. It felt violent at times, and you wondered if anything would ever grow again. But look now at the garden he is planting. The seeds of endurance, the blossoms of hope, and the deep roots of faith are beginning to stir. The fragrance of your life is becoming a sweet incense that rises to the throne of God. Even the tears you shed have become the gentle rain that nourishes this new growth. Nothing has been wasted. Every sigh, every prayer whispered in the dark, every moment you chose to trust when you could not see. All of it has been gathered into his golden bowls. The path ahead of you is illuminated by a light that does not flicker. It is the light of his countenance shining upon you as you prepare to move back into the activities of your daily life. Do not leave this sanctuary of peace. Take it with you. You are a walking temple, a carrier of the presence. The peace that surpasses all understanding is not a temporary feeling, but a permanent resident in the core of your spirit. When the world becomes loud again, you can retreat into this inner chamber where the King of Peace sits on the throne. You have learned the secret of the secret place. You have found the dwelling of the Most High. The warfare has changed its nature. You no longer struggle to reach a destination of safety, for you have already arrived. Your life is hidden with Christ in God. From this position of hiddenness, you look out at the world with eyes of compassion rather than eyes of fear. You see the brokenness of others not as a threat, but as an invitation to bring the healing you have received. The love that has rescued you is now the love that flows through you. You are a conduit of grace, a river of living water flowing into the dry places of the earth. Let go of the last remnants of the need to understand everything. Some mysteries are meant to be lived, not solved. The goodness of God is a vast ocean, and you are but a tiny vessel floating upon it. Trust the currents. Trust the wind of the Spirit that blows where it wishes. You do not need to map out the entire journey, for the shepherd knows the way. He leads you beside quiet waters and restores your soul. He prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies, and you realize that the table is a place of intimacy, a place where the enemy has no invitation and no power. As the sun of this season sets and the dawn of a new day approaches, feel the strength rising in your spirit. It is not a frantic energy, but a quiet, unshakable confidence. You are more than a conqueror through him who loved you. This victory is not an on-a-time event, but an eternal state of being. You are standing on the victory of the empty tomb. The stone has been rolled away. The grave clothes have been left behind, and you are walking in the newness of life. The power that raised Jesus from the dead is the same power that is at work within you right now, strengthening your inner man and filling you with all the fullness of God. May you always remember the tenderness of this moment. May the memory of his touch be a shield against the lies of the accuser. When the shadows try to return, speak the truth of this stillness. Remind your soul of the faithfulness of the one who promised. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. You are his masterpiece, his poem, his song. And the song he is singing over you is a song of deliverance, a melody of home. Rest now, child of God. Let the deep peace of the heavens settle upon your mind. Let the quietness of the Spirit hush every anxious thought. You are protected. You are provided for. You are cherished beyond measure. The battle is over, and the love remains. The love is all that will ever remain. In the gentle embrace of the Father, in the radiant light of the Son, and in the comforting breath of the Holy Spirit, find your eternal rest. The journey continues, but you are never alone. Every step you take is on holy ground. Every breath you breathe is a gift from the giver of life. Go forth in this peace, carrying the light of the kingdom into the darkness, knowing that the darkness can never overcome it. You are a child of the light, a herald of the dawn, and a witness to the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Peace be with you. Peace in your coming and in your going. Peace in your rising and in your sleeping. Peace in your heart and in your home. The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God the Father, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you now and forevermore. Amen.